Hey Eagles fans, this is PennLive Eagles beat writer Daniel Gallen coming to you from Philadelphia for this week's edition of the Philadelphia Eagles Blitz. The Eagles are 6-7 after their painful 29-23 overtime loss to the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday. That loss dropped them to 6-7 on the season and severely hampered their playoff chances. Of course, the Eagles aren't completely mathematically eliminated. Since the Eagles have been mediocre this year, a bunch of other NFC teams have been mediocre this year. The Eagles still have the chance to overtake the Minnesota Vikings and the Carolina Panthers in the standings, which would theoretically put them into the number 6 wildcard spot. Has this team shown it's worthy of getting into the playoffs? Not really. The Eagles won back-to-back games for the first time this season, entering the Dallas game, but those wins came against lowly Giants and Redskins teams. They were shredded through the air by Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper. The injuries in the secondary, which the Eagles have done a good job mitigating since the loss to the Saints, were on full display. And moving forward, the Eagles are going to have to try to contain another high-powered offense in the LA Rams this weekend. Now, the Rams are coming off their own dismal performance in a 15-6 loss to the Chicago Bears. It should provide a blueprint of some of the things the Eagles can do to slow down Jared Goff, Todd Gurley, Brandon Cooks, and the rest of that offense. Of course, the Eagles don't necessarily have players along the line like Khalil Mack, like Akeem Hicks, even though Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Chris Long, Michael Bennett, maybe Tim Jernigan, that's a group that still might stack up favorably. So when you're watching the Eagles and Rams this weekend, really keep an eye on the battle in the trenches. That goes for the other side too, where Aaron Donald is having one of the best seasons of a defensive lineman in the entire NFL this year. Jason Kelce, Brandon Brooks, Isaac Seumalo is day-to-day with a pec injury, so if he can't go, then it'll be Stephen Wisniewski. They'll have their hands full on the interior of the defensive line. Those are just a couple of the matchups to watch. One of the more meta matchups to watch are Doug Peterson versus Sean McVay, two of the better offensive minds in the NFL going at it. Along with quarterback Carson Wentz against Rams quarterback Jared Goff. They went 1-2 in the 2016 NFL Draft. They'll be connected forever. When they met last year, they both had solid games. As we all know, Carson Wentz tore his ACL, which ended his season and set the stage for Nick Foles' playoff heroics. They won't necessarily be going up against each other head-to-head, but that's still one of the more overarching themes to watch. The Eagles season isn't over yet. It's not even over if they lose. They could still make the playoffs at 8-8 if they get a ton of help. But it's really hard to see them pulling off a win this week against a team of the Rams' caliber, especially with how they played against the Cowboys and how they've played for most of the season. That's why I am going to pick the Rams in this one, 35-17. That would drop the Eagles to 6-8 on the season. And yeah, it'll be an interesting weekend at the LA Coliseum. Carson Wentz made a joke earlier this season about a road trip going better than his last one to LA, so I'm sure he'll be hoping for the same thing this week. You can follow along with all of our coverage at www.PennLive.com/Philadelphia Eagles, and you can follow along with me, Daniel Gallen, on Twitter at DanielJTGallen.